Hello and welcome to another how-to video. Before you go any further, make sure you hit that like and the subscribe button because we need you to subscribe because I'm chasing that YouTube plaque. Outside of that, it does let us know that you're still engaging with the channel, so please do hit that subscribe button. I'm Ditech, CTO DVS, and welcome to some more content. So what are we looking at today, I hear you say? Interestingly, a brand new product, or not brand new, but quite new. This is the new IDS 7-line camera from our wonderful partners over at Hikvision. This is one of their high-end cameras, a multi-format VCA model, and we're going to replace one of the older 7-line cameras, which we'll sort of show you what the new one does compared to the old one very shortly as we go through the video. So let's get it out of the box and we'll take a quick look. So first of all, it is a 4-megapixel internal or external dome camera. There are other versions available in this IDS 7-line range. Please contact your friendly DVS sales rep for more information. So that, my friends, is the part number. Just let it focus on there. It is the IDS 2CD7146G0-IZHSY. It's a mouthful. It's a 2.8 to 12mm varifocal lens, internal, external. Like I said, it does have a built-in speaker, and it does have the built-in microphone, audio input, output, alarm input, output. It also has got a heater, the H for heater, you can see it there, and it's also the Y version. Y is the anti-corrosive NEMA 4X coating. It isn't made of stainless steel, but it does have the NEMA 4X coating, which gives it longevity. So if you're fitting this in somewhere where there's a high chance of added corrosion, where the added protection is required, so somewhere like a seaside, high salt content, a chemical processing factory, etc., this oil rig, gas energy, this is the perfect example of a IDS 7-line high-end camera for you. So what does it look like? So I'm just going to get out of the box. You have the fit-in template, which nobody ever uses. And you then have the base plate, which screws to the wall, which we're going to replace one of these cameras here, probably this one. And then the camera clicks onto there. So we need to keep that. This is the manual, which tells you all about how to fit it and how to use it. Again, nobody uses that. That's why we're available for 24/7 tech support via our new phone system. When I say 24/7, you can ring 24/7. Waterproof tape, really important. So you can put this waterproof tape on the actual camera fitting, which I'll show you shortly. And then you've got the input output, so like the Molex connectors. You've got your security screwdriver, the all-important but very elusive RJ45 waterproof gland. Now, it is important that you fit this on any of the Hikvision cameras. Any manufacturer, in fact, comes with these generally RJ45 protector glands. It's super important that these are fitted if they're going outside. I just fit them in if they're going inside. But if they're going outside, it's really important because moisture can get into that plug, make it corrosive, and then obviously becomes unreliable. You lose connection to the camera, and eventually the moisture wicks up into the housing itself. Proven that this will help prevent that. Okay, so that's the box, and then you get some screws and plugs, and you know what to do with them. So the camera itself, it is a DarkFighter model, a deep in view. It does have the infrared on there. And we will get the security screwdriver out ready. So on the back, coming out of the camera, sorry, you have 2 fly leads. So if you've got somewhere to fit it, you can fit the back box and push it through this fake pod wall, so the connections can be behind, or you can buy the appropriate wall bracket or junction box, etc. So RJ45 plug there for PoE and network. And you have here, they all come with these rubber glands on. Leave them on there if you're not using them. So this is the power cable, so you can put the Molex connector in there and power it, but if you're not using it, keep the rubber glands on there. Same with this. So on this fly lead, separate one, you have alarm input output, alarm input output. You have the audio out, just about read, I need my glasses, RS485, 12-volt output. This is really important, I'll explain that in a minute. This 12-volt output is rated at 100 milliamps, so 0.1 amp. This allows you to power like a PIR, an external PIR, which could be wide into the alarm input on here. Could be a microphone, external microphone, a whole host of things, a relay. So this little 12 volt output at 0.1 amps, so 100 milliamps, is quite sufficient to drive quite a lot of security connected devices with this product. Really handy. We've had it previously. CVBS output. Now, a lot of you still request this CVBS output. This IDS 7946 camera has that CVBS output, so you can connect it straight to a monitor or a matrix, etc. Then you have, on this one, is the audio input, if you want to connect an external microphone, an RS485, that's it, we've gone through them all. So there you go, so there's all of the fly leads there, so you've got the power lead then and all of the I/O, etc. here, and the DC output, should you need it. Now that's really important because, again, like I said, another added benefit of this model, very small and discreet, but it does have the benefit of that CVBS output plus the 12 volt output. As you can see, very small profile, very similar. It's actually a little bit smaller than the previous model, so smaller in body depth and smaller overall diameter. Now that is really cool. It looks nice, it's very modern. It has the built-in speaker output here, so you can use the Hikvision app for two-way talking, and it has the reset and the SD card slot under here. Like I said in previous photo, and there is a microphone input you can see indicated there. And there should be one on that side there next to the security screw. So there's actually three. So you've got 1, 2, 3. So you do have omnidirectional sound. So 1, 2, and then 3. Oh, maybe I can't count. Yeah, it's got 2. So it's got like the bi-directional sound, not omnidirectional, but it is sort of omnidirectional. There you can't count. I failed maths, guys. And the, I just dropped the plastic thing there. The other thing you can see, when I talked about the why it's got corrosive resistant there, so it actually tells you on the camera. You can spray this whatever colour you want. We still get asked that. Don't cover this warranty sticker here. If you cover that, the warranty is void. Other than that, spray it whatever colour you like. So you do have the microphone and the speaker there, which is great for the two-way talk, which we'll show you via Hikvision shortly. And again, SD card. If it is a critical camera location, do fit the SD card. Reason being, if the NVR fails, gets stolen, gets bashed up, etc., through a break-in or malicious intent, the SD card will record that footage on the edge and it can be retrieved, and it could be vital evidence that you need. We've explained this in a standalone video previously, about 6 weeks ago. I implore you, please do add an SD card to every critical camera location. It will pay dividends in the end. The return on investment could be priceless. Okay, so let's open up the camera housing. There is a couple of security screws on here. Apologise while I just chat absolute and utter nonsense while I do this. And again, thank you for, if you have subscribed to the channel, we really do appreciate that, and hopefully sometime in the near future we'll have something to show for that. So you can see there, it is a varifocal 2.8 to 12mm motorized zoom lens. It has the 3-axis gimbal, so you can rotate this left, right, you can rotate it up, down, and then you can rotate the actual camera model as well. So there's a 3-axis setup in this gimbal. So if you wall fit it and you want to look down a wall, you can simply turn it that way and then rotate it round. So it's very easy to actually get the desired view using this model. And like I said, we're going to change this one here because the microphone's wired into that one. You're going to watch me change it and then web browse into it and show the new features. There are quite a lot of VCA functionality on this new hardware model. More can be added as the product develops in time. And that's it. That's about it from the camera perspective. You can see there, like I say, 3-axis gimbal, motorized zoom lens. It tells you which the orientation is up on there. Built-in IR. It is DarkFighter, deep in view. And that's about it, really. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is the camera. Simplicity at its best. And you can see on the back you've got the 3 prongs which attach to this base plate here. So I'm going to grab a set of step ladders, which thankfully are just over by there, swap this camera over, get it onto this recorder, and then we will then web browse into it and finalize the setup. So I'm looking forward to web browsing onto that. We've got the PC setup ready for that. So stay tuned while I swap it over and join me once it's all back up and running. See you in a minute. Okay, and welcome back. Yes, we have the camera installed behind me. Like we said, there's been a bit of a break. Various things have gone on, and as life generally gets in the way, but we have the camera fitted. And more importantly, I have updated it to the latest firmware. Yes, this is the latest firmware GUI for the camera. As you may or may not be aware, there is a new GUI that's available for some of the cameras, and it will be for the NVRs, DVRs as well. So GUI 4 will go to GUI 5, and the same with the cameras. We have a new GUI interface. Not a lot of people like change. In this instance, I actually really love the way they've developed this front end. Now, lots of you will have your own opinion. Please bear with it. It is actually a lot cleaner. It's a lot more modern and it's a lot nicer. But I do understand people have learned and been set in their way. So I will try to give you an overview of the new firmware just so you can get an understanding of it and you can sort of bank that in your memory. So what I am going to do quickly, I did have on email, so I'm going to pause the video a sec. I'm going to bring up an image, I can't get my words out today, an image of the different VCAs and an explanation of these that will help us in our video content moving forward. So give me 1 second while I get that. And as if by magic, we're back. This, you can screenshot it, print it, whatever you want to do. This is a detailed explanation of the key functions and features of this IDS7 line. So you'll see this as we go through it. I'm not going to test every single function of this camera. The video will be 3 hours long. I'll try to pick up the best ones, and then we will sort of do separate ones based on that moving forward. But you can see there, facial recognition. Facial capture performance up to 40 faces that appear in the screen can be captured. Now, if you do use facial recognition, facial capture, it can support that function. Multi-dimensional people counting, again, great for retail-based scenarios or for like shopping malls or shops, etc. The camera will output walk-in rate and recognize VIP customers efficiently with facial recognition. I'll probably do a little bit on that. Regional people counting. Cameras support people density detection and get early warning of potential safety incidents. Now, great if you've got a threshold like an event, a festival, a capacity in an office, etc., that you need to be notified, when it gets close to or hits that limit. So regional people counting. Queue management. Again, this was a great function we supported for tills, etc. So a single camera can cover up to 3 queues and trigger alarms when the amount of people in the queue exceeds the threshold. Now, this is all about customer service. If there's lots of people in a queue or over your determined threshold, the alert will be raised and you can go and open more tills. On-off duty protection, this is brand new. Cameras can count people in the air and trigger alarms if the amount of people is less than the predetermined range. Now, this is like a health and safety. I'm not going to sort of do this. It's a very niche or very specific, but there are instances like my twin brother, for instance, works in a chemical plant. They have to have 3 people at all times in the area that he works for. If one person left and it goes down to 2, this could trigger the alarm and then they could go and address that situation, because a mandatory stipulation of this chemical process is that they have to have 3 people at all times while they're producing this chemical in attendance. Now, that is a perfect example of where you can use that VCA. Heat map. The camera uses different colors to visually display the accumulated number of people. That's really cool. So it's like the fisheye, but like more of a security surveillance view. Perimeter protection, again, external. Deep learning-based target classification and reduced false alarm activity. So your standard line crossing, intrusion boxes, etc. Region exit, region entrance. Again, perimeter protection, but using the deep learning target-based classification. So again, much less false alarms than a standard, say, AccuSense product. But again, it's reflected in that cost. Multi-target type recognition. So with multi-target type recognition function, the camera can identify different persons and vehicles with different attributes, such as age, gender, clothes color, and the feature can always be used in abundant applications. So again, more of like a demographic view. Might have a look at that today. AIOP, hard hat detection. The camera detects whether a person wears a helmet or not, and it immediately triggers an alarm if a helmet is not worn. Again, going back to that scenario where my twin brother works in that chemical process application, they have to wear goggles, hard hat, high vis, protective clothing, etc. Again, that could alarm if it could be a construction site. It could be anywhere where a hard hat is necessary. It detects that one isn't being worn and again triggers the alarm and you can go and attend to it. And then privacy redaction, a brand new function for this camera. Facial or human body redaction technology help the video surveillance industry prevent the leaking from personal privacy. So you can actually turn privacy redaction on the camera, so it does it camera end rather than recorder end. Again, some amazing key features and functions of this camera. We'll try to briefly touch on some of the key ones as we sort of go through the video. Again, I'll do some breakout videos, but there's a lot to cover. It's a very, very multi-dimensional camera and application. So one camera does fit all in this instance. So you can have your cake and you can definitely eat it. So we're going to move on to the camera now. So I'm just going to get that back up a second. Okay, so we are going to log into this brand new GUI now. Again, if you know, I think it's this password, bear with me. Yes, it is. You can see that this is a brand new interface. Don't be scared. If you've used Hikvision product before, you will very quickly find your way around it. If you haven't, all the better, because it is super simple and intuitive. Now, a couple of things that we'll start on. If you are using Edge Explorer, that's my favorite. Edge Explorer seems to work really well. But again, on the new firmwares, all web browsers are supported to an extent. I can reload it in Internet Explorer mode, and then using that download plugin here, I can download the plugin, which gives you the added functionality to Internet Explorer that you may need if you are forced to use Internet Explorer, or even if you just like Internet Explorer. Again, top right hand corner, I can change a password or log out there. I can even search for something. If I go to global search and type VCA, there's nothing much, line cross. Configuration. Ooh, I can't even spell. There you go. Type it in there, I'll go in there. Don't know why I didn't go to line cross then, but you can see the idea there. Go back to for God's sake, live view. What else is there? Again, you can change your stream type down here, so you can change it to substream. If you've got struggling with the network to connect to it, especially remotely, I'm going to put it back into full view. You can record it. It's really simple. Aspect ratio, you can make it full screen. I can stop the view. I can do pixel counter. So if I want to know, for instance, the size of this door, maybe you're setting up a VCA and you need to know pixel count, etc., I can actually do that here. So I can close I'll just pretend that's the door. Width and height there. So it's a really easy way to identify pixel density within the image of a given object. Some of the other older firmware support that as well. I'll turn that off now. You can do two-way audio, take a snapshot. You can do digital zoom. I can do listening because it's got a microphone and a speaker built into it. And I can also do web component download, which is also up there. I can turn that off. On the left-hand side, it used to be along the top. If you remember, the banner used to be along the top. Yes, I have made the text DVS green. I will show you how to do that. I have renamed it. Very standard functionality. DVS green, absolutely love it. This camera also has the ability to turn on the, what do you call it? Like the angle, OSD. In the OSD, you can turn on the angle of the camera. It may or may not be important. I do it because it's cool. But I'll show you that as we go through it. So live view, again, PTZ controls. So you've got your zoom in here and then to zoom out. You know, it's very standard functionality. If it was a PTZ, you've got focus, iris, wiper. You can set presets, tours, etc. All of that is very standard functionality. And again, if you finish, you can make it full screen, and that looks absolutely wonderful. And again, there's me. Hi guys. In my lovely DVS demo room. Yes, we have tidied up considerably since I installed the camera. So again, going back to the left-hand side, if you had an SD card in the camera, you guys know how I feel about SD cards. If it is a critical camera, simply put the SD card in the camera, set the camera to record on event or 24/7. If the NVR fails, if the network fails, if the NVR, DVR gets broken, stolen, damaged, whatever, you do have the footage saved on the edge. It's so cheap and so versatile. And if there was an SD card in the camera, you could simply select playback and view any of that critical and valuable footage. We don't have one in there, but we're in a demo room, lots and lots of cameras. But again, if it is a critical camera location, then please do consider it. There's such a small cost, but the return on investment could be priceless. So we've got VCA configuration, maintenance, and security. So if we start playback SD card, we'd be able to play back. There is no SD card in there. If we go to maintenance and security, again, under maintenance, you've got device restart or a scheduled restart. You can actually put in there the time that you want it to reboot. You can do firmware upgrade. And again, you choose the upgrade file. It does tell you the current version there. That is the latest version for this camera currently. Backup and restore, so export the parameters, default, etc. You've got the logs, security audit, and device debugging. So all of the functions we had before, you've still got it. They just look slightly different in a different menu structure. Into security, it has its own dedicated tab like it did before. So IP address filter, block list and allow list, MAC address filter, login management. So these are all default, by the way, but you can actually adjust these as required. Certificate management and TLS. Again, you set this up as required by your application on your client or your network or your IT that you're working with. Again, very simple to navigate. Again, I've heard some feedback that people don't like this new web browser. It's so easy to navigate. What's not to like? Okay, let's go to configuration. So again, on the left-hand side is your main menu. Along the top, you've got all of your sub-menus. So your stream type, you select which stream you want to alter. So there's the main stream. If I wanted to alter the substream, I would select the substream and then adjust the values accordingly. Under mainstream, so we make sure it's set at 4 megapixel, variable bitrate, medium. These are all default again. H265, I don't like H265 plus. You guys have heard me talk about that many times. And then you can adjust the settings as required. And again, with the substream, video and audio, make sure that it is video and audio. If you do want microphone or the use of the microphone and audio recording, make sure the mainstream and the substream are set to video and audio stream, not just video. Going along to the image, you can adjust the image. So this got preset, basic, backlight, front light, low light illumination. Got image adjustment, exposure settings, so you can adjust the iris level, exposure, focus, semi-auto, manual or auto. I leave it as semi-auto. So the semi-auto is when the focus or when the zoom is adjusted, it will focus on that. When the light level changes, it will do it as required. Day-night switch. This has got infrared only in this camera. So again, you can change it to day, night, auto, scheduled switch or triggered by alarm input. Very standard Hikvision functionality. You've got filtering time, supplement light on, off, on. And we're going to use the IR supplement light. That's the only one in there. And then auto brightness. I could put it to manual and I could put that up to full LED brightness. So it's got full use. And it auto saves. So when you change something, now it auto saves. You used to have a save button at the bottom right hand corner generally. And now auto saves. Much, much better. Backlight, white balance. You can go on forever with this, guys. An image enhancement, video adjustment, and then others. Local output. It's got a test output on the camera. You can turn on or off. OSD configuration. Again, you can change the character set to EUC KR or default. Channel name, you can choose which ones you want. And like I said, you can display the tilt angle. So if I do that and then click save, this isn't an auto save one like some of the menus. You have to manually save this. But again, I can change the display tilt angle on. It might be really powerful to get the information you need up front, and then you just turn it off after. You can update the channel name, day and night. This is where you change the color, the OSD, like I have to DVS green. And you can add custom text in there, like I have there. It's got DVS demo room up here. You can add what you want. So add text, include it, and then move it to where you need on the actual image itself. So it's very, very simple, very, very configurable. And again, you can upload images as well. So under here, you can actually upload, I'll show you that shortly under image setting. You can actually upload custom images if you want, which I will go through in a minute. And then time settings, manual time sync with computer, time source filters, which is the NTP, and then DST if you need it. And save, we're done. Again, under local, all of the different things here you can do. So rules are on, display info, very similar to the other. They just changed the menu structure, like I said. I'll just sort of buzz through this. System settings. So you've got camera name, upgrade version. So if I click on upgrade there, go straight to the upgrade source. Sorry, go back to that system settings. Time settings, RS232, RS45, system service, location. You can put a location, longitude and latitude in there. I'm not going to do that. User management, online managers, and then account security settings. Again, that's how you bring up the reserved email and your security questions for password resets. Network, again, very, very simple. It's standard functionality here, guys. And again, you can go through the top there. Network service, you've got your port settings, HTTP, HTTPS, service certificate, web authentication, multicast, RTSP. All of this can be changed. SRTP, bonjour, WebSockets, NAT, RTCP, and smooth streaming. This is all default. Platform access. So you've got OTAP, which is it's not new, but
but it's a connection method. So you've got OTAP, ISUP, and Height Connect. They're all methods to connect into an NVR. So an NVR remotely. So OTAP, you can, like the solar camera, and you want to connect that to an NVR using the 4G SIM card. You can use OTAP to register to an NVR. Same with this. If it's on a standalone network, you can use OTAP and then register it to an NVR in the system, so it can actually be included. We used to be able to do it with the old DDNS platform. You can now do it with OTAP and the latest firmware on the NVR. So it's a connection method to send it to an NVR, let's just say, in a remote location. So you've still got it recorded in a central platform, but this camera could be on a different site, just looking at the front door, for instance. ISUP, again, a Hike Central back-end connection. Hike Connect, which we've already done. Open network interface on VIF. You can enable that and set it up as required. And then SDK service. So the SDK, if you're doing third-party devices or customization, or you're building your own software, etc., you can enable and change as required. Video and audio, again, we've been through this. It's just expanded. Again, audio, microphone in, input volume, we'll turn that up. Output volume using the built-in speaker or line out, so you change it. And then save. And again, with the alarm events, if somebody comes in, it can be triggered to the built-in speaker, or you can connect an external speaker to the audio output and then drive the audio output to the line output, which would then give you the desired effect of that alarm output. With region of interest, not return on investment, like I was just about to say. Target crop in display on info on stream. You get the idea, guys. Image is more expanded. The one thing you can do is, again, OSD settings, privacy mask, very simple. Picture overlay in these expanded menus. Picture overlay, yes. I'm going to upload under a DVS logo. It's got to be a 24, it's because I haven't saved it in the right format. So the picture has to be 24 bitmap format, and the maximum pixels are 128 by 128 pixels. That is like 500 by 500. That's why it won't work. So, but then you can drag and drop that into a corner there, and then it'll just give you the XY coordinates. Storage, again, SD card. So if you add an SD card, it'd be in there. Network hard drive, if you want to add a network hard drive location to it. And then cloud storage. We don't use cloud storage in the UK currently, but there is a way to point it to cloud storage. Schedule settings again. Event. So event and detection. So again, this is separate to the VCA, which we're going to pause the video and go through in a minute. So in motion detection, you can turn it on or turn it off. It's got like motion 2.0, so it is intelligent motion detection. So enabled in dynamic analysis, and you've got normal or expert mode, sensitivity, human, arming schedule. You just fill it in there. What things? Audio linkage, yes. Send email, yes. Notify surveillance center. That's our software and our app. Like all our events, you need that notify surveillance center ticked. If you want to notify the app, or you want to notify our software, that needs to be ticked. And you can upload it to an FTP memory card NAS. And again, recording linkage to camera one and trigger an alarm output should you require to do that. Now, I can save that. That's nice and simple. You just need to then draw detection already. Let's turn that audio off. You can hear that's the built-in speaker. Yeah, it's quite loud, isn't it? And again, I can draw the area here for motion and save that. Now it's only in that area instead of the full screen there. Now that event's going to go off a few times, even though 5 times is the default. Again, you get motion. That's motion. I'm going to turn that off now, guys. It will go 5 times by default. There you go. Video tampering, so that's motion 2.0. Again, that might be suitable for some of your installations, and you've got the audio, there. It's fine. You've got video tampering. You've got alarm input, and it's like cause and effect exception. So these are the hard drive in the SD card, hard drive full, IP address conflict, etc. Video quality analysis. Not many people use it, but you can give a video quality analysis. Some VMSs use that to check the quality of the video is acceptable, it hasn't been tampered with, and you're not losing it, or it's not going out of focus, etc. Audio exception detection. That's the real-time volume here. And what you can actually do is if you go sudden increase, and you can set the parameters. And if I go, so I'll just save that. and then you can send an email, hello, 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 and that red line is your trigger line, so you can adjust that up and down as required. So if I do that there, like, that's not going to create alarm, whereas if I do that, anything above that red line would cause the alarm. So a sudden increase or a sudden decrease in sound intensity, if there's lots of shouting in the area, or if there's a machine that needs to be running like a generator and all of a sudden that generator fails, then it goes silent, that's a sudden decrease. So either one, so it's increase or decrease in sound. It's really, really cool. I'm going to save that. Defocus detection, if you want to use it, somebody's got into it, defocused it. Scene change, somebody's actually changed the camera angle and vibration detection. You can enable that. Most of our cameras now come with, that's how you can do the longitude, latitude. They come with like a gyroscope effectively in there. If you go and shake that camera now, a lot of the PTZs have it. If you try and move the PTZ or move the camera or hit it with a hammer or kick a ball at it, for instance, it will actually generate alarms. So you know somebody's trying to tamper with that camera. Again, whether you use it or not is entirely up to you. You've got alarm settings, so you've got the FTP, email, alarm output, audible alarm, so you can choose it from the custom audio, which is stuff that you upload yourself, so it could be my voice that I upload, and then you can select that. You can have prompt audio, and then you can have the different ones, add these to the list here. You can basically just upload your own prompts or warning sound, and then you've got the preset ones.
Welcome. Please notice that the area is under surveillance.
Change that to 1 because that's default. So you can see there, loudspeaker volume, etc. And then alarm service. So that's where you alter all of the active deterrent functionality that's linked to an event. Device management, again, alarm box. We're not going to focus on that. We don't sell it in the UK currently, but we might moving forward. And then EPTZ. You can enable it, and then application patrol or auto tracking. The EPTZ, if you enable it, does disable some of the other functions. I've done a video on this separately. You can actually set the EPTZ to patrol in the scene, or you can do an auto tracking. And as you walk around, so if I do human and click sensitivity, do it a little bit more, click save, we'll draw an area here, 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 and here. Click save. Now, with the third stream, if I walk in there now as a third stream, I'll go and view the third stream. It should start auto tracking. So just make sure that's saved. Go back to live view. Let's view the third stream, which is this one here. So if I walk in this area now, that EPTZ should start tracking me, as you can see there. There you go. That is the EPTZ tracking within a thing, and you can do it so it's panning effectively going through the stream or tracking. So it is quite cool. It is only on the third stream, so you'd have to record that third stream within a recorder, or it could be output to an integrated system, etc. But that is smart tracking on the EPTZ. It is actually quite cool, as you can see here. I'm going to put it back to the mainstream now. So we should see in the mainstream that should have no effect, but that would be then on the third stream tracking. You can see it's detected me, but you don't actually get the reflection of that in the mainstream or substream. So that is largely a walkthrough of the basic functionality of the camera. Now we're going to set up some VCAs. I'm just going to stop the recording. Okay, we're now going to look at the most important thing here. Under application display, that gives you the data awareness, basically the reporting. So if you click on that, it goes to restarting records, arming, capture alarm, alarm quality statistic. We don't have any data there to show any of that, but it's like the reporting tool. Not the main focus for this video in any standard. VCA, however, is. So if you click on VCA, you get this lovely interface that allows you to choose the functionality that we're now going to set up. And as I showed in that video earlier, in that clip here, there's all of the different functionalities, and here they are, is how you choose them. You can even select between them. So if, for instance, in the daytime you want smart event, no, actually that's wrong. So in the daytime you want people management or multi-dimensional people counting, but in the night you want smart event. So if somebody comes in across a line or an intrusion area, you can now schedule switch them. There is also the option for combo, where this plus that equals something, and that's coming more fruition into some of the NVRs moving forward as well. But if I go into scheduled switch first, you can actually choose scheduled switch, and you can choose what times and dates, smart event, face capture, face picture, multi-target. You can see the different ones there, look. You can choose them here when they're active. So it becomes very configurable. I'm going to turn the scheduled switch off. Very configurable for your premises, application, etc. So actually one camera now does fit all of your applications. It may not be completely what you need, but this should cover 95 to 99% of all applicable installations moving forward. It is very, very powerful. So smart event, I can turn that on or off as required, so I can just flick the modes on there. If I click next, or I can go to set application, either way. So go to smart event. The next part is general settings. So if you click on the arrow here, again, you've got FTP, email, alarm output, alarm audio, alarm serving, metadata. So that's the general settings. How does it react to, you know, the applicate or to the alarm effectively? And then smart event, I can actually now set up intrusion, line crossing, region entrance, region exit, loitering, people gathering, fast moving, parking detection, unattended baggage, object removal, or combined event. Like I said, you can click on combined event, and it's and/or kind of sort of process. So again, I'm not going to go through every single one of these, but again, if I go to intrusion detection, I can enable it, add the rule. That's number one, delete this area. So you can have up to 4, I can up to 2. Human and vehicle, threshold, sensitivity, basic height. These are very similar. There's just a different layout. It threw me then. So again, if you click on view, draw an example, it tells you or tries to help you, guide you how you would set this up. So if somebody needs to jump or was going to jump in the water and you wanted to be aware, that's how you would do it. Again, so I could go enable rule 1. Let's just delete rule 2 first. Yeah. So add a rule here. That's rule 1. Actually, let's make it actually more applicable. Let's see, in that area there. So that's rule 1, human or vehicle. Threshold got to be in more than 1 second. Because it helps with that. Click save. You've got arming schedule, linkage method, so audio linkage. Yes, yes, yes. Done. And then if I add a second one, I'm going to finish drawing the line here. Excuse me, I've only got limited capability. If you double click, it actually makes it full screen. I'm trying to make it so they don't overlap. That'll do. So click save on that, and again with options on 2, audio linkage, click save. Yeah. So you've got 2 different VCA types there, 1 and then 2. You can add a 3rd and a 4th. So they support, I'm going to delete that. They support up to 4, but you need to draw them first before it'll allow you to do the next one, if that makes sense. And again, each one can have its own sort of threshold, sensitivity, etc. What else can I do? Draw minimum size and maximum size. So again, I can go minimum size is that, and then maximum size is this. So it helps with the target classification. Delete it, view it, snapshot, zoom in, zoom out, focus, etc. That's done basically. Save that. Where's the maximum one? Let me just save that. Maximum is that. Okay. Oh, it's already over there. Look. Okay. And again, if I go in and out of here, you can see that's triggered straight away. And if I go up to this one,
welcome. Please notice that the area is under surveillance.
I'm only doing rough testing, but you get the idea. Still got the minimum, maximum arming schedules, etc. I'm going to delete all of the. It's going to keep going off as we're doing testing. Delete. Yeah. Delete. Yeah. Okay, line crossing is the same, so I can enable it, set a line, and then different A to B. Like you guys get the idea of this. Region entrance, region exit, loitering, that's a cool one. You've got loitering, and again, if I enable loitering, let's add it. Threshold, let's put 10 seconds. Sorry. Draw an area of here. Save. Arming schedule. Yeah, I mean, there's not much more we can do. But if we go back to here, what this will do, under loitering, what I will ask is for the audio, because if somebody's loitering in the area, it'd be nice to then trigger the audio alarm to then sort of be reactive. But I guess we can do that through people counting, which I'll show you in a minute. Again, so if I go and stand in this area here, then it should be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go, alarm. So that's the loitering. Turn that off. I'll try and get that time extended. That's not long enough in my opinion. But it just sort of showing you some of the features. Fast moving object. Not really sure where you'd use this, to be honest. Certainly in Wales you can only drive 20 miles an hour in most locations. So parking detection, that might be a handy one. So you could draw, I haven't got a car with me in here, but if it was outside, I enabled it, and then threshold, I could draw an area here, and if somebody parked in it, it would give you the alarm, and then if you draw an example, well, it's the same thing. You get the idea, save that. And then combined event, you actually start, so one of the smart events needs enabling, so you have to enable a couple of them. So if I enable 2 events, I could combine it to make one event then, or the outcome combines both to give you an output. So again, it's like that and or type scenario. So that's really powerful. I've turned them all off now, but you can use that. Make sense? Yeah, of course it does. Again, high-end stuff because it is the IDS4 line, 7 line, so it's got that deep learning or deep in view as we call it. Again, if I want to do face capture, so some of them, when you enable one, it turns the other one off. And if you go next, I'm not rebooting it. Face picture comparison, multi-target type detection, which I will show you. Multi-dimensional people counting, people management, AI platform, and monitoring. Monitoring just disables the VCA. So if you're using it and only want the image and don't want any of the other stuff behind it, you can enable that. Don't really know why you'd buy this camera if that was the case though, but it is an option should you require it. What I will do now is, rather than just doing face capture, let's do face picture comparison or multi-dimension people counting. So if you look at the multi-dimension people counting, that's got the people counting, but the recognized VIP customers. That'd be quite cool. So if I enable that, click next, and then it will reboot. So I'll see you in a minute once it's rebooted. Okay, so it's restarting now. So the multi-dimension people counting is on. Click next. General settings, again, how you, well, the general settings. Face picture library, I need to add one. Face picture name, DVS, this is the threshold 60 event remarks. Okay. I actually need to add one in though in a minute. Yeah, that's fine. FTP, email, alarm output, audible alarm output, so I could put welcome, because it's a VIP. Here we go. Click save. Go back. Multi-dimensional people counting. Let's go. So flow direction analysis. You can see this quite complicated. You're doing this as I'm doing it. So if enabled, the device will change the detection line into a poly line automatically. Divide the entrance region into sub areas B, C, and D, and count the flow direction of people. So if this is like looking at an area where you want to see what direction people are coming and going, so like a cross section. So like, are they coming in and going that way, then that, so I can enable it, and like you said, it can show the which way the people are going. Like the fisheye, it does on the fisheye camera from a top-down perspective, which is actually quite nice. Maybe it's a bit difficult, it's certainly difficult in this scenario to do that. So we'll just leave it as the standard. So we've got enter, leave, and duplicated, reset time midnight, and then the minimum and maximum pupil distance. Arming schedule, we'll put audio linkage for the VIPs. Data upload, real-time data uploading, 1 minute. Data optimization, special attribute duplication if you want to do it for child, or dynamic duplication. So the filtering time is 1 minute. The face picture library duplication, we're doing it off the DVS one, and then if you want, you can go in here and add more. We'll go back. Data upload, yes, that's fine. We haven't got any children to test this with, but you'll get the idea. And again, you've got the draw line, so they are a little bit more complicated. You have to spend a little bit more time than a standard like AccuSense camera. And again, the people count, it is a cool thing to do. So this is the red is the area, and I can reduce that, but we'll leave it. I guess. Oh, sorry, just did the wrong thing there. Put the OSD over there, back up there. This red area. Okay, the line, yeah, let's make that the red area is the count area. Oh, I did it again. Right, now we're going to do this. We're going to do this because we're conscious of the count area. Do this and do this. See, it is a little bit fiddly at times, but you get the idea. Save on that. So that's the area. Then the count line is this one. So draw a line here. So we just make it here. So it's like anywhere going this way. Oh, come on, guys. Or me. It's very difficult to draw. That one there. That one there. Like so. Click save. You've got change direction, so I can do in or out there. Leave that as in. You've got draw minimum pupil distance and maximum. We'll leave that because it's already set down there. Take snapshot, zoom in, zoom out, and then we're going to save that. Okay. So that's our counting area. Finally. And you've got enter, leave, and duplicated there. Okay, so what we're going to do now is face picture comparison. Yeah. So that's done. So arming 24/7. So that's fine. Linkage method, and we're going to do audio linkage when a face is detected, and we're going to click save. Overlay and capture. So display info, display target on picture, yes. And then text overlay. We'll just put, we don't need to put any. Selected at capture time. And click save. Then the advanced is the parameters. Algorithm is face mode. Data management clear, so you can clear it all. And overlay intelligent information. We'll put it on just to see what that looks like. So multi-dimension people counting. Done. So let me just see if this actually works first of all. So we're going to go back. Go back to live view. Close that. So now, okay, first thing we're going to do is go and check this works. So enter and leave, and then we're going to put a face in it to show the VIP side. So if I go this way, so I've now left. And now I'm coming in. I didn't go over the line. Tell me I didn't go over that line. Okay, so I told you we'd be doing this live together. Now, not the best view for people counting, as you can imagine, trying to do it in this demo room in there. What I did notice is, when I drew the box, I did get it to work, but as you move through the scene, you actually come out of the box and not go over the line. So all I've basically done is made this line bigger, so made the box bigger, which then accounts for my head going out of the scene effectively, because it is using. So if I do this and click save, so as I go in across that line now, you'll see enter and leave. Duplicated one, it's already seen me, I've done it back and forth, so it is working. So I go to live view and come back into there. Now, as I go out, it should go to 4, and when I come in, it should go to 3. And duplicate should go to 2 because it's already seen me within 1 minute. I've set the timer to 1 minute, so I might actually be out of it now. But we'll give it a go. You'll see. So as I go out, and as I come back in, I've duplicated 2. You can see there, because I've already been in it, it's recognised me already. So it is doing its job. So, and again, if I go out, it should go 4 and then 5, hopefully, if it's working. There you go, 4 and 5. So, it is working. As you can see there, duplicate 3, the duplicates me 3 times. That allows you then to get a more accurate in and out data, because especially if you're getting loads of duplications, you get 100 in and 100 out. 50 of those might be the same stars. Actually, your data is more accurate now, and you can see there that's actually giving me the intelligent data. Not relevant to most things, but it is used for sort of analysis and third-party stuff in the background. I just turned it on. Now, I did say a lot of this is you're doing with me. I'm not a liar. I certainly don't profess that this is a install it. You'll never have any problems. It's very easy to set up. Generally, it is an easy product to set up, as you saw from the rest of the video. But there are times when you do need to fine-tune it, test it and fine-tune it. And that is the wonderful world of CCTV AI, unfortunately. So it does take a bit of thought process, a bit of understanding where to install it. This is not the typical camera installation that would be used for people counting in that scenario. It just isn't. It's not, doesn't lend itself for the best way. It's just a sort of representation, but it is working. And again, if I want to add myself as a VIP, so as a VIP, so it knows me and it can say hello as I walk in, I can go to VCA, multi-dimension people counting, under face picture comparison, under here, set face library. Now under the one we created here, if I click into it, I can actually add a face now. And I can say Dave, Davis, gender, male, date of birth. It doesn't really matter, does it? I'm not going to tell you my date of birth. ID card 999. I can select a picture, and I can say there. Well, that'll do. Best one I can find. Click on OK. And again, that's now it's modeling it now. So it's like actually it'll use that as a reference. So if I come in, I would be now, it would check against that, which then when I can do a separate alarm on it. So this is like a VIP now. So I come in, it recognizes me, gives a separate alarm based on this library. So then I can go or someone can be reactive to it. So if I'm spending a lot of money or I'm a VIP, I could be the store owner, etc., investor, share, whatever that looks like. Then I come in, it recognizes me, sends a separate alarm based on this list, and then you are reactive in a different way to a standard customer. And I know customer service is a king, and you should treat all customers the same, but there are instances when you need to give that a distinction. Okay, so it'll just finish modeling and shortly. And then again, if I go to test it, it'll give an output. So if I go alarm output, yes, that's based on this list. Audible alarm, welcome. Yeah, that's fine. Camera info, Facebook library, just edit that. Marks, DVS, VIP. You don't have to do that. I'm just doing it for a reference. Again, go on that. Is it still modeling? Yes, it is. Visual search. I came back with a woman then. That's interesting, isn't it? Face picture library, that's done. Go into here, multi-service, picture library, Armin, 24/7, linkage method, audio linkage, yeah, and then I could trigger an output on that base. Overlay and capture, done. Let's just do that. Now, it should, if this works, trigger. If I go out and come back in, it should say hello. Should that modeling have worked? I go back out here. Now I'm a VIP coming into the store. It didn't say hello. I turned that off, maybe. Maybe I need to change. What's the duplicated? Give me 2 seconds. Okay, anyway, so yeah, the only thing I couldn't get working, which I'm going to have to test again, is the VIP settings. I set the library up, added my face. The counting, duplication, all works fine, as you saw. The only thing it doesn't alarm on is when it sees my face, but that's something I'm going to raise with HQ. So give me a couple of days and I'll give an update on that. The other one we can test is face picture comparison. So face capture picture comparison, and we'll look at people management. So I'm just going to quickly reboot that, guys. Okay, so we've reloaded the face picture comparison. So face rec, it would be the same for the people counting, the multi-dimensional people counting, with the way this works and captures faces. Although it seems to be a glitch on that. But go to next, general settings, face picture library. So you can add like a few libraries. So I could call it a test. A threshold and remarks. Okay, and it just adds it. It just allows you to put the faces in the right folder effectively. If I go to edit, I can change the threshold. So that's like the recognition threshold. So you can make it up or down. And again, once you've added pictures, I can click add, done the fill in the detail there, and I can select delete original picture after modeling. That then removes it from here. So for privacy reasons, you can't actually see who that person is, but it retains the so I guess the matched data in the background. If I click on batch modeling, I can do modeling for all pictures and do it again. Click all, start modeling, and we'll do the same, remove the pictures, but model it in the background. So FTP, email, alarm output, alarm audible output, welcome, alarm server. Now this is new for this function, dynamic mosaic mask. So by default, it's enabled for the face. I could do the body as well, and then the level. We're just going to do the face now and click save. That allows you, when it's detecting a face, it blurs it out. So especially for, I guess, GDPR reasons, it adds a comfort layer there. Go back to the main setting, face capture. So again, by default, you just set an area. So draw an area. You can do a shield region as well. Their default is on by default, maximum, minimum, and then the whole size is done by default. Armin schedule, again, make sure it's 24/7. Notify surveillance and alarm outputs if you want. And again, overlay, you can do, most of these are default, you don't have to. But background picture settings, background upload and face picture, I always turn on. And then advanced. You don't need to adjust all of this, to be honest. What I generally do is the face exposure is generally on. I generally turn that off to start with to make sure it's working and click save. Go back to face capture and then comparison and modeling. So enable the comparison and modeling, which will check the face library. So best comparison or quick comparison. I leave it on best comparison to start with. And then upload successful comparison, upload information failed comparison, upload is succeeded. And then just it adds the libraries there. So you can arm it at different times. And then the linkage method is dependent on how you each library can have its own thing. So click save, go back to comparison, go back to live view, Go back to there. So the area's there. You can see the mosaic is detected at the back of my head here. So it's already started trying to blur that out. If I walk in front of it and then walk in front of the camera, you can see it's blurry. And then when it detects my face, so I just go to application display alarm, real time. Now when I stand in front of it now, just walk into the area. Oh. So you have to walk in and out. So with this face comparison, it is a bit, once you walk into the area, you want to make the area like defined and as they transit through. But you can see here, 97% match. That's what it's just taken against my reference library. And it's male, 27. I'll take that all day long. Adult, wearing, like if she's wearing glasses, no. Wearing mask, no. Facial expression, happy. Wearing a hat, no. And again, you can keep doing this, and then you can download them, etc. And if I go back into it, the mosaic is so cool. And you can do the body as well. I'll make sure I'm smiling. So you can see it's transited through 95%. And again, I made sure I was smiling there. If I go, you can see the full image there, and it takes the mosaic off, look. So you can download all of that. Again, I'm going to go back, go home. If I look at face picture comparison results, you can see that was the latest one, view details. Oh God, I'm happy, and it gives you all of that. And you can just download them, save them, whatever. But you can see that's the face picture comparison. So it's like Face Rec with the comparison library built in. Very easy to use. Just going to go to VCA, select application. Next one I'm going to do is people management maybe. Let me just have a quick look and we'll reload it in another one. Okay, we are back. I had a couple of things to do, but we are back. People management, obviously you can select that. General settings, camera info, FTP, email, alarm output, audible warning, alarm server. Very generic like the other VCAs. People management, now it gives you some of the other functionalities that we did talk about from that slide. So regional people counting, on-off duty selection, which we're not going to do today. But that's, if you click on add, you can see absence detection or on-off duty detection, and then the people. I'm not going to enable that. Just delete that. We've got queue management. Again, I've got enable queue duration prediction. It will reboot once I do that. So enable queue duration prediction will automatically disable off-duty detection, face capture linkage, regional people queuing up, waiting time detection in queue management mode, and the device will automatically restart. Okay? Because obviously using the queue duration prediction, turning it on, I can add a rule, draw an area, and then it will give me the amount of people and the wait time and give me the analysis behind it. I'm not going to reboot it simply because it's going to take too long. But you've got arming schedule and then data upload. So we are going to leave that off. Heat map configuration, I configured this a while ago. So you can turn that on, expected number of people, click save, draw an area, and then that will give you the heat map. So under here and then heat map, it hasn't been going long enough. But then tomorrow, as I've started moving around, that'll start giving me an output of what that looks like. So you've got time heat map, so it gives it to you in a graph format, or you've got the spatial heat map. So going back to VCA, again, I will leave it on, but it doesn't make a massive difference to this demo. Overlay and capture and advance. Yep, we're going to use all that indoor, outdoor. Which one are we going to use? Regional people counting is as simple as add in a rule. So area 1, give it a name. So DVS is up to 8 areas are supported. The alarm interval, first alarm delay. Then you've got alarm times per exception. You can leave these on or off. People number OSD, which is the on-screen display of how many people. People density alarm. Now I can enable people density alarm. Statistics, I can put it 1 to, that's instant upload. And then you've got the density level alarm. You can set up to 3 levels. So 6, 10, and 15. And you can put 3 different areas in. And then congestion level upload. and people quantity change upload if you want to. So that the people quantity change uploads as an alarm. I'm going to turn all these off. And then you've got dwell time exception. So you've got alarm trigger condition greater than threshold, lesser than threshold, and greater than threshold A, less than threshold B. So you can put the time differences in there. You don't have to use this, the dwell time, but it can. It's very configurable, very powerful, up to 8 different areas. So it does allow very configurable applications to how people move through a scene and how they're monitored and reported on, how many people are in the scene, the time they're in the scene. So it is very, I'm going to turn that bit off as well. So the one we're really focused on is the people counting, or the regional people counting, because you can have up to 8 regions and then count between them, etc. So all I need to do is draw. So if I draw an area there, click save. That's area 1 here, and the OSD is on there. So I've got a live view. So you've got nobody currently in there. And again, if I go stand in there, it should go to 1. Oh, it does. Oh, I need to make it bigger. I forget the camera is too, apologies, I forgot. The camera is too close. Now if I go in there, see, it's now gone to the DVS equals 1. It's seeing as one person in there. Again, not the best view to do this, but it shows you the capability of the camera. Now, depending on the thresholds, the alarms, the time, etc., they can all generate separate alarms. It is very configurable. There's one person in there, and when I move out, there's no people in there. It's literally as simple as that, guys. And I think that's enough for this camera. There are lots and lots of possibilities, and I'll do a couple of extra videos to support it. But again, there's one issue that I want to try and get sorted, and that's that multi-dimensional people counting with the faces, the VIP as we call it. And the rest of it you've seen works really, really well. It's just dependent on how you install the camera and what you're trying to achieve. I hope you enjoy the video. There's lots to take in. Any questions, as always, drop them in the comments or ask your very friendly DVS sales rep. Other than that, have a lovely day, and we'll see you for another how-to video very, very soon. Interestingly, just a little update. After I made that video, speaking to HQ, they've actually sent me this super comprehensive guide, which we can send you for the multi-dimension people counting function. It seems the reason I couldn't get it working is because the setup and installation is very specific. Very accurate, but very specific. I'm not going to go through it all. As you can see, it's 42 pages. But you can see there are a lot of considerations. Choosing the right angle, the installation, wrong. Installation height and aspect ratio, the angles. And you can actually fill this in here to make sure that the camera is going to provide exactly the right scene and give you the right outcome effectively. It's very, very comprehensive. So again, just a little update. One of the reasons why it didn't work, and again, is because I didn't follow this guide strictly, because whilst it is a surveillance camera, it's also a lot more than a surveillance camera. And as you can see here, there is a lot to consider when you need the multi-dimensional people counting with the face, etc. But it does actually run through, so I will set it up, you know, as per this guide, because I've obviously got it wrong. But again, the guide is available. It was probably me, not the camera, but I hope you still enjoyed the video. Nice little update. See you later.